So, Andrej Karpathy, one of the key minds behind Tesla's AI and OpenAI, well, he just revealed a personal system he's been building. And it's not some new flashy product, it's a blueprint for a self healing knowledge base that could completely change how we organize, well, everything we learn. Okay, first things first, let's just start with a pretty brutal fact. You know the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve? It basically shows that you forget about 70% of everything you learn within just 24 hours. Think about that. All those articles you read, all those videos you watch, poof, most of it just vanishes into thin air. And that right there is the core problem with the tools we're all using. I mean, you've got your Notion workspace, your Obsidian Vault, maybe you're using both. You're constantly clipping articles, saving bookmarks, highlighting PDFs. But then, 6 months later, can you actually find anything? Nope. It's not a living, breathing system for your knowledge. It's just a digital graveyard where all that great information goes to die. So yeah, let's just be real about it. The whole idea of the second brain, at least as we know it, is fundamentally broken. And look, this isn't a problem with your discipline or that you're not trying hard enough. It's a problem with the entire approach itself. And this broken system, it has a very real cost. Get this. Studies show that knowledge workers, people like you and me, spend about 1.8 hours every single day just searching for information they know they've already seen before. If you look at that annually, that's a productivity loss of around $20,000 per person. We are literally paying to be disorganized. And if you're feeling this, you are definitely not alone. A massive 80% of workers say they feel the strain of information overload. It's like we're all drowning in this ocean of tabs, documents, and random notes, just desperately trying to connect the dots. Okay, so right about now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute. Doesn't AI solve this? And yeah, for the last few years, the entire industry has been betting the farm on this technology called RAG. But as it turns out, there's a fundamental fallacy with it. So what even is RAG? Well, in a nutshell, it's a method where an AI just searches through a huge pile of your documents, finds what it thinks are relevant snippets, and then uses those to cobble together an answer to your question. It's pretty much the standard approach for enterprise search right now. But here's the catch. RAG doesn't actually fix the underlying chaos, right? It doesn't organize that messy digital junk drawer of yours. All it really does is search through that digital graveyard, just a little bit faster. So the conversation ends, the knowledge evaporates, and you have to start all over again the next time you have a question. This is where Karpathy's idea just flips the entire script. The old way, RAG, is all about getting better at retrieval, pulling needles from a haystack. His new way is about writing better documents in the first place, compiling your raw sources into a clean, organized wiki. It's a proactive system that builds compounding knowledge instead of a reactive one that's just good for finding one-off answers. Okay, to really get this paradigm shift, you have to wrap your head around one central metaphor. This is what unlocks the whole system. The large language model isn't a search engine, it's a compiler for knowledge. So think about it like this. In programming, you have a compiler, right? It takes all your messy source code and turns it into a clean, executable program. Well, in Karpathy's system, all your raw articles, your PDFs, your notes, that's the source code. The LLM is the compiler. And the output? A clean, organized, cross-referenced wiki. That's your executable knowledge base. It's a system designed specifically to turn chaos into order. All right, so that's the big idea, the theory. But how does this thing actually work in practice? Well, the beauty of it is that it's actually incredibly simple. Let's break it down. The whole thing runs on a really simple 3-layer architecture. First up, you've got your raw sources folder. You just drop files in here, articles, papers, whatever, and you never touch them again. They're immutable. The second layer is the wiki itself. This is a bunch of markdown files that are entirely generated and maintained by the LLM. It's the one creating the summaries, the pages for key concepts, and all the links between them. And the third layer is just a simple schema, basically a config file where you give the LLM some rules on how to structure and maintain everything. And that's really it. And a system works with just 3 core commands. First, there's ingest. You drop a new article into your raw sources folder. The LLM then reads it, pulls out all the key insights, and automatically updates like 10 to 15 related pages in your wiki. Super cool. Second is query. You just ask a question, the LLM synthesizes an answer from all across the wiki. And the best part? If the answer is useful, you can save it as a brand new page, which means the system literally gets smarter every time you ask it something. And then there's the third one,
And this one is called Lint. And honestly, this is the revolutionary part. Linting is a term from programming that just means automatically checking for errors. In this system, the LLM periodically runs a health check on the entire wiki. It finds contradictions between different articles, it flags information that might be out of date, and it fixes broken links. The wiki actually heals itself. It's wild. So when you put all these pieces together, the ingest, the query, the self-healing, what you end up with is so much more than just another note-taking app. It's a genuine research partner, one that actually grows and improves over time. And this isn't just some theoretical concept, okay? Look at the scale of Karpathy's own personal wiki. He started with just about 100 source articles. From that, his LLM has generated and now maintains over 400,000 words of cross-linked, organized knowledge. I mean, that's a knowledge base that knows more about his specific domain than he can possibly hold in his own head at any one time. And you can see how this idea scales way beyond just personal notes. As one person who saw this put it, and this is brilliant, every business has a raw directory. You know, that chaotic mix of Slack threads, Confluence pages, Google Docs, competitor reports. Nobody has ever compiled it. And that's the product. Just imagine turning all of that messy business intelligence into a clean, structured system that an AI can actually reason over. So what this all leads to is a new division of labor, a new partnership between you and the AI. Your job is no longer to be the meticulous organizer, the tagger, the linker, all that tedious stuff. Your job is to be the editor, the curator. You decide what valuable information goes into the system, and the LLM, it takes over as your full-time librarian, handling all the maintenance, the organization, and the synthesis for you. And the best part is, Karpathy has made the code for this public. The pattern is open for anyone to use and build on. You could literally start today. Just pick a topic you're passionate about, drop in just one single source article, and let an LLM compile your very first wiki page. Which it really leaves us with one final and I think really exciting question. What would you build a wiki about?